People of the United States, Brazil is a peaceful country that seeks not to interfere in the diplomatic affairs of other countries. Brazil is a major supplier of raw materials, and much of the food produced in Brazil ends up on the tables of Americans, as well as on other countries around the world. Brazilian democracy was one of the most expensive in the world. It cost the precious lives of indigenous people, enslaved black people, martyrs and heroes of various races. In the history of the United States, many indigenous people and black people were also, unfortunately, enslaved, exploited, and even murdered. The high tariffs recently imposed by the U.S. government against Brazil for alleged and unfounded political reasons are completely illogical and absurd and are not in keeping with a relationship between two free, democratic countries that are geographically close. And this is not the first time, unfortunately, that the U.S. government has attempted to interfere in political affairs in Brazil. In 1964, a democratically elected Brazilian president was forcibly removed from office due to the erroneous interference of the U.S. government, something that resulted in a bloody military dictatorship that lasted for a long, violent, and painful 21 years, a nefarious interference that also occurred in other South American countries due to U.S. interference. Many young Brazilians, even students, who wanted democracy in Brazil were arrested, tortured, and killed by the nefarious military dictatorship. The American people do not elect a president so that he unnecessarily or for illegal reasons tries to interfere in other countries. A U.S. president is only president of the United States, not president of Brazil or other countries. Brazilian territory belongs to Brazil and not to the United States. Brazil's wealth belongs to Brazil and not to the United States. And Brazil's problems must be solved through democracy, ethics, true justice, and solidarity. Good neighborliness is necessary among all families and also between two or more countries. Although the Brazilian judiciary is not perfect, and the North American judiciary is not either, as it has historically sentenced countless innocent people to prison, there is strong evidence demonstrating that this North American interference in favor of a right-wing Brazilian politician who is being investigated by the Brazilian judiciary is completely unfounded. The high and unfair tariffs imposed on Brazil by the United States will also affect the American people, who will have to buy more expensive products from Brazil and perhaps even prevent these Brazilian products from reaching the American market. These high tariffs imposed by the United States also harm the Brazilian economy, an economy that needs to generate much more employment and income for millions of Brazilians living in poverty and even below the poverty line. Therefore, from a Christian and religious perspective, these tariffs are also inhumane. Therefore, I call on the American people and the free press of the United States to kindly intervene so that these absurd taxes on Brazilian products are immediately removed. This way, the fragile Brazilian economy can grow and generate more jobs and income for millions of unemployed Brazilians, as well as produce more products for the American and global markets. The American people already have enough problems without an American president wasting time trying to address issues that don't concern them. There are several international organizations that serve precisely to mediate conflicts and seek the necessary solutions on our troubled planet. An American president is not elected to rule the world, but only to rule the United States. A president is elected to rule his own country, not other countries, This is called logic. Historically, much of the American people's money has been wrongly used to support dictatorships and finance bloody wars. Money that could have been wisely used to benefit the poorest Americans and also to help combat world hunger. The world doesn't need militarism but solidarity. Many of us Brazilians also admire Martin Luther King, a black American hero who said he dreamed of living in a multiracial, free, democratic, and just country. Good Brazilians also want this beautiful dream to finally come true in Brazil. And may good Americans and good Brazilians unite in solidarity so that our countries may finally become the beautiful homelands Martin Luther King so beautifully dreamed of. We also have our heroes, men and women who gave their precious lives for democracy, justice, truth, ethics, and racial equality. And parodying the poet John Lennon, imagine a world without tariffs, without taxes, without borders, without dictatorships, without racism, without prejudice, and without injustice. A president of any country does not have carte blanche to do whatever he wants. A president is not a god. He is simply a man who will govern a country for a certain period. Power belongs to the people, and may the people strive to be wise, fair, ethical, compassionate, and educated so as not to be deceived by lies, rumors, and false promises. Peace, ethics, truth, and solidarity to the United States, Brazil, and the world.